Hey guys, I got a new video for you today, and today we're going to be looking at a new light from Thrunite. This is the TC12 model, and I was pretty excited to get this one in the mail, specifically because I've been in a little bit of a larger EDC flashlight kick lately, and this particular model definitely fits that role. But even though it is considered a larger EDC flashlight, it's actually considerably smaller than most of its competitors in the same area. I've also been wanting to experiment one of Thrunite's rechargeable lights, specifically because they generally have higher output as far as the lumens go, and this light definitely has all that covered. As always, it does come in this really nice cardboard box here, so let's go ahead and open it up and we'll take a look at all the accessories. So right off the top, you have the thank you card from Thrunite. Then you also have your instruction or user manual. And as always, I do recommend that you read through it because there's some very useful information on there. It is in a couple different languages, but they make it very easy to follow. And you have the flashlight. We'll set that to the side for now. Then you have a couple of accessories on the bottom here. First, you have an accessory bag here, which has a couple different spare O-rings, different sizes, a spare tail cap switch, spare side switch, and then you also have a Thrunite lanyard if you want to go ahead and throw it on the flashlight. Again, because this is a rechargeable light, you have your micro USB to USB cable here. And then you also have a sheath here, pretty nice quality. You have a nice large belt loop area in the back here. You also have a D-ring up here, so if you want to attach this with a carabiner to a pack or something like that, you can do that. And then the sheath itself, it is lined on the inside, which is nice, so it's going to protect the light very well. Set that to the side, and let's take a look at the flashlight. So here it is. So as you guys can see, it is a little bit on the larger side as far as EDC flashlights go. But again, it's a little bit smaller than its competitors in the same area. So that's always nice. It definitely feels really nice in the hand, as you guys can see. And it puts out a lot of power, I can tell you that. It's putting out 1,000 lumens on its highest mode, what they call turbo mode. But you also get quite a few different modes that are definitely come in handy for EDC purposes. But it doesn't stop there. The flashlight is actually able to be used by a lot of different people. So law enforcement, military, first responders, firefighters, anybody like that will definitely find this flashlight very, very useful. Not just because of its size, but also its convenience as far as how you go through the modes, and then also the fact that it is rechargeable, so you don't have to worry about purchasing other batteries and whatnot. And the flashlight does tell you, how much battery is left, which is really nice. So this is aircraft grade aluminum, so it's going to be very sturdy, but it's also pretty light. You get quite a few areas of knurling all the way through, which is really awesome because it definitely grips onto your hand very well, so it's not going to slip out. So you have knurling right here in the middle and on the tail cap as well. And then you also have some stylus in the front here with the ring right here that holds the USB port closed. So let's take a look at that USB port. Basically, all you have to do is pull up on it, and there is your micro USB connection. And we'll close that back up. You have a pretty sturdy pocket clip here. Now it is only one direction, and then specifically that's because of all the areas where you have different things, so like the side switch and the USB port and stuff like that. So it only goes in the pocket one way, but this is, in my opinion, the best way to go in there. You get pretty much just the top half of there sticking out, which makes it very easy, again, with that knurling to be able to grab it and pull it out. Now you do have on either side these areas where you can attach a lanyard to it if you wanted to, and then in the middle you have your tail cap switch. So it basically is open on either side, which is able to orient your thumb to where it is that you have to go ahead and actuate it. The different modes on this are going to run, again, 1,000 lumens on its turbo, which is the highest mode, but then you also get a firefly mode of 0.4 lumens, which is great for reading maps or reading information in a dark vehicle or something like that where you don't want to blind yourself. Then you have low for 28 lumens, medium 180 lumens, a high of 640 lumens, and then it goes up to turbo for 1,000 lumens. Now you also have a strobe mode, and strobe is going to come in at 800 lumens. So again, you get quite a few different options as far as the output on this light, which are going to make it great for a lot of different people, again, EDC or just anybody else that might need a really great flashlight. So this has a momentary feature, so if you lightly press the tail cap, it's going to come on in whatever mode you set it at. So right now I have it set at 1,000 lumens, so it's turbo mode. But if you go ahead and cycle through the different modes and you want it to come on at a lower mode, you're able to do that. Now, the just pressing the tail cap is just going to activate that one mode, which is great because again, if you just need that one mode for your regular everyday usage, then you don't have to worry about it coming on different modes or anything like that. Again, every time that you press the tail cap, it's going to come on in that mode. And that's your momentary on, but you also do have constant on. So if you click it on, it will stay on at that mode. Now, the side switch here has two purposes. Besides it switching through the different modes, it also has an indicator as far as how much battery is left on the light itself. So if you turn on the flashlight, as you guys see there, it came on green, and now it's cycled to red, and then it turned off. Now, if you go through the manual, it's going to tell you what those different things mean. Basically, the green light on means that it's over 20% of the battery. If the red light will stay on, that means it's anywhere from 10 to 20% of the battery. And if the red light comes on and then turns off and flashes, that means it's less than 10%. So, you're at a glance, you're able to see how much battery is left on the flashlight itself, which I think is really nice. Again, if you turn it on, it comes on green and stays green, you know that you're good, and it'll always stay on, so you know you're fine. Once that turns to red and it stays on red, then you know you're anywhere from 10 to 20% of battery life. And then if it turns off, like it did when I just showed you now, it's less than 10%. So that might be the time when you have to go ahead and plug the flashlight in and go ahead and recharge it. Now, you do have the back area here is able to be tail stood. So if you have to use it for as a candle light or something like that to light a bigger area, you're able to do that. There is no crenulated bezel on the front of it, or a track bezel, what some people call it. So just keep that in mind. Again, this is it's a pretty great EDC flashlight. It's definitely going to fit a lot of those different roles. So let me show you how to go through the different modes. If you go ahead and turn it on, pressing the side switch will cycle through the different modes. So there is your Firefly, low, medium, high, and then turbo. And in any of the modes that you're on, if you press and hold the side switch, it'll actually go into your strobe, and then pressing it again will go back to the mode that you left it on. And again, if you cycle through the different modes and you turn it off, because it does have that memory feature, it will come back on in that same mode that you left it on. So I'll go back to the high and turn it off, and then there it is, and it comes back on in that turbo mode. So again, you have quite a few different features that make this a really awesome EDC flashlight. Again, at a glance, you're able to see how much battery you have. You're able to go ahead and recharge that battery. To get to the battery, all you have to do is unscrew the tail cap here. The battery is included. This is obviously, it's an 18650 battery from Thrunite directly. So that's always nice that they do include that. You don't have to go out and purchase that. O-ring right there, sealed, so it is waterproof. And again, you have the capability of just using that one mode. So if you're the type of person that for your everyday life you need just that high mode or medium or something like that, you're able to program that in there, and every time you click the tail cap, it's going to come on in that mode. But again, if you do have to cycle through the different modes, you're able to do that through the side switch. Now, one thing that I found is that because this is a steel side switch, it is very responsive. You have a clicky noise and a clicky feel to it, so you know that you're positively switching through those different modes. I have found that certain lights try to do a rubber side switch on them, and you don't get the same feedback that you would with the steel one here. So all right, so there it is. This is the TC12 EDC flashlight, USB rechargeable from Thrunite. Let me know if you guys have any questions. Thanks.